Hey friends, welcome back to Two Bears Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Paul. The other bear, his name is Rob. He's, doing some other stuff. And we're back. In case you missed it in our last video, or last couple of videos, we had to step away for a little bit to deal with some family stuff, take care of my elderly father. And then we also had a long-standing, or a long-planned family vacation, which took a bulk of us out of the area for a while. So instead of trying to do videos and with everything going on, we decided just focus on family, because that's the most important thing, and then we'll just pick it up when we get back. And so we're back. So I'm thrilled to be back in front of the camera, thrilled to be sharing our journey with you. I have a couple of videos planned. I have some ideas that I want to share with you, and also some insights as to general things that are related to homesteading and the world at large. But today, that's not the intent of this video. Today we are going to be doing pickled onions. Now, for those of you who go to Panera Bread, which I love Panera Bread, they have their pickled onions they used to put on their steak and arugula sandwich. That stuff was amazing, and I love pickled onions. So I found a copycat recipe for the pickled onions. I'm going to doctor it just a little bit. I'm going to be adding some fennel and some clove to the steeping liquid for the pickling, because that's how I am. And also this recipe, you technically could can it, because it really is just it's pickling, so it's vinegar, and that's the liquid, is the vinegar, and it's also sugar, of course. So you could can this if you want, but I'm not going to can it. I'm just using it for immediate use, and I'll see how I like it, and then if I decide to do it again in the future, I probably will can it. But if you do decide to can this, it's a 10-minute water bath at sea level. So let's get going on this, and it should be pretty quick. It's slicing onions and boiling vinegar. It's really not complicated, but I want to show you what I do and take you on the journey. So here we go. So the recipe calls for 1 large red onion sliced thin, which you just saw me do, and it calls for a cup of apple cider vinegar, a half a cup of red wine vinegar, and then a 1/4 cup of sugar, and then a teaspoon of kosher salt, or Redmond real salt is what I'm using. And then it also says that I need to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground allspice. Now, I'll do that when it's ready. And a shake or 2 of red pepper flakes. For some reason, I don't have red pepper. Don't know why. But, it's not the end of the world stuff. But I am going to, like I mentioned in the video, add, I'm just putting a couple of flakes of, I don't know if that's zooming in or not, of fennel, or a couple of seeds of fennel, and then 1 whole clove, 1 clove of cloves, 1 clove of a clove, 1 piece. And then, a couple of peppercorns that I'll put in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just steep them. I have this little tea bag thing, so, I'll just steep that in the liquid. I just want to get a little bit of the flavor. I don't want it to be overpowering, because the onions are what you want to shine in this, and of course, the acidity and the sweetness from the sugar. So let's go ahead and get that on the stove. Once it comes to a rolling boil, turn the heat off and remove from the heat. Remove from the heat, and then whisk in the 1/8 of a teaspoon of the allspice. go ahead and remove the tea steeper with the herb spices that I have in there. Again, that's my addition, not the recipe addition. I will put the recipe in the comments below so you can see what I did. Go ahead and remove that. Give it a good whisk. And then now go ahead and just fold in the onion. Big piece. I'll cut that and throw that back in. Ooh, this smells amazing. You see the hot liquid is already starting to reduce the onions and soften them up a little bit. So all we're going to do now is just stir this a few more minutes. Just get it in there. Make sure all those onion pieces are separated and so they get a chance to kind of macerate in the brine. I'm going to take this big piece, I'm going to throw that on a cutting board and cut that up real quick. That's it. Now we just got to let this come to room temperature, and once it comes to cools off to room temperature, and then we go ahead and put it in the jar, see what kind of yield we get, and I'll decide if I want to make another batch. It's pretty simple. Okay everybody, so that was pretty much it. It was pretty straightforward. I just packed it loosely into the jar. I didn't kind of pack it in there tightly because I wanted to keep as much of the liquid or the brine as I could, or the pickling juice, if you will. The color is absolutely amazing, and I'm very, very happy with it. I did taste a couple of pieces, and it's definitely on the right track, but the recipe does say that it needs to bloom or to sit in the refrigerator and just kind of develop for a few days up to a week. But I will probably use some for dinner tonight, and I'm not gonna, not gonna sit here and say that I'm not, because I'm impatient that way. The other part of the recipe is that it's only good for about 2 weeks. Now, I know that I can can this, and in the future I'm going to make it again, and I'll make it a bigger batch, and then I will can it out, and I'll do them into the half-pint jars, not these, not the full pint, because I just think, it might be too much to be open at one time, and you start having too many jars in the refrigerator. So, but I do like this. This will be on salads, on grilled chicken, sandwiches, you name it. I've got plans for this stuff, and I know Rob loves this as well, because that was one of the reasons why we went to Panera, because we loved this so much. But now I did find other recipes out there. I have a couple of cookbooks. I have one that's called Grazing, and the whole cookbook is about preparing a charcuterie for a grazing board. So there's a similar recipe in that, but it calls for water and it's lower acidity. So I have made that in the past, but I think I like this one better. So we'll just stick with what I like, because I'm the one that's going to eat it. And that's it. That's me. I'm back. Irreverent Paul is back in the fold. And if you have any questions or comments about this, or any suggestions for different flavor profiles, I would love to hear it from you. And as always, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us on our journey. We're back in the saddle, and that's it. I keep saying that's it, because that's the end of the video, folks. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much.